Hello, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we're going to talk about something that we don't typically talk about. And so we own three companies as of right now. So we own CallBoss, which is a service-based company that does all the admin work, or 90% of your admin work in your office. We have a landscape company that services outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and we do the East Valley. We service about 2,600 properties on a regular basis. And then we own a CRM system that is going to be released soon.
Software.
Bam. Next level, because we just think that there's a great things that have happened in the software world, and I think that we've been working on this for a long time. Really, it's probably been a total of the software has been built for the last 6-7 years, and then we started getting involved, and now we're fully involved.
Partners. Hey.
So, but we're going to talk about something today that I think that gets overlooked quite a bit, and that's letting go, right? So we get a lot of people who call, companies that call that want help from CallBoss. They know they need help. They know they need help. They want the help, but they're not willing to release the chaos that they're currently in and make their life better. And what I mean by that is sometimes chaos is comfortable. Sometimes you know what to expect on a daily level. Fair enough? Mm-hmm. So when you step into CallBoss, you have to let go of some of the things you have control over, because you got to trust that CallBoss is going to answer your phones the right way and do all the things, right? And it is such an amazement to me to take calls and take these sales calls, and people are like, hey, can you hold on a second? And they're taking a call. Hey, can you hold on a sec? Take a call. Or, hey, you know what? I hold on real quick, and they get up and leave. And they're dealing with their business. That's what CallBoss can do.
Right. So take it a step back, though. So a little bit more about CallBoss. It's not just a virtual assistant for your company. It's a team of people that can take your calls. They also can build out estimates over the phone. They build rapport with your clients and act as if they're right there with you at your company every day.
Absolutely.
Making it so that these clients can say, hey, I love dealing with my person at XYZ company because I get them every time. Our staff is small enough to where they may call in and get the same person, but at the same time, we have enough people that we don't miss anything, right?
Absolutely.
And so CallBoss is another tool that entrepreneurs can use to grow their business. It allows you the time that you need to do the things that help you propel forward. When you don't have time to be stuck doing administrative tasks, that's where CallBoss comes in. And I think what John is saying based off the sales calls he's in is that people know that they need help. They don't know how to not be their own bottleneck.
Right. So now most people who own a company, and this is most small companies out there, you just created yourself a job. Essentially, you create yourself a job, you become a prisoner within your business. That's the reality of it. And I'm not telling you because that's what I'm talking down to anybody. We live this. When we started a landscape company 13 years ago, we were a demise of our own landscape company, but we knew that we needed to grow. We knew we needed to expand. We knew that we needed to get this off our shoulders, right? And we learned, we trusted people. We had failures along the way, but we made some really good decisions, and that's what got us to the size we are now. And the same with CallBoss, right? We knew right off the bat, learning from the first company, exactly what we needed to do. We went and hired the help, got the education, and we built it. Now we got on to the third one. It's even faster because we've already been through this process a couple times. But when you're starting out, you have to be willing to let go. And I guess the one big thing to me is don't set an appointment with us if you're not wanting to simplify or grow, right? Business is hard, no matter how you look at it. It's the American dream, and everybody will tell you that. Yes, it's the American dream, but it is incredibly difficult to own a business, and it is incredibly difficult to scale. So why not take the opportunity to take things off your plate, take advantage of a company like CallBoss, and be able to get your admin side, your phones answered, and it just makes you so much better. For example, Nikki and I have talked about this. There was a flooring company that called us. He missed 20 to 30 calls a day. At night, he would check his voicemails, and he would decide which ones he would call back. And he's like, but by the next day, I'm so busy, I can only call a couple, and I get 20 to 30 again. And he's trying to justify if he could handle, $127 to $247 a week. And my response is, you're crazy not to, because you just left so much money on the table. So you're worried about pennies instead of collecting dollars, right?
For sure. I mean, every call that comes in could potentially be your next biggest job. Like,
Absolutely.
hold that for a minute. Your next biggest job is calling you and you're too busy to answer the phone.
That's right.
It blows my mind when we talk to people and we're, explaining the things that we can do. I get there's hesitation, but there was hesitation in the beginning for all of us. And that's what we're trying to get people to understand today is it's uncomfortable to let go, but you also have to trust that the people you're putting in place to help you are going to do just that. And that's help you. There are so many things that I don't do right now because everything is almost delegated off my plate.
Absolutely.
I'm working with you to create content. I'm working with you to propel this software company that we're partners of. I'm working with you to recreate things for our landscape company to, move it into the next level. What are the next things that we are going to tackle as far as are we adding services? Are we increasing prices? There's things that we need to work on together. I don't have time to take calls. I don't have time to answer text messages. I don't have time to answer emails, but I have a staff that can do it for me.
That's exactly right. We have a great team built behind us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're exactly right, because that's the part you have to get to. So you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to let go of the chaos that you have now to grow your business. And here's the other thing. We get all the time like, well, I'm going to go get a virtual assistant. That's awesome. That is at least a step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Just know, as great as virtual assistants are, right? And you're looking at a dollar amount, right? You're like, well, I can get them for X amount of dollars. That's awesome. When you hire CallBoss, you have a team, 40 people behind you, and they can answer your call. So you have multitude of people who live here in the United States that can take your call. And let me back that up again. We have everybody who works for CallBoss lives here in the United States. And that is important to Nikki and I, because that's just what we believe that needs to happen, right? We have great people here in the United States that can work, and there's nothing wrong with virtual assistants. They have their place. But you have to hire a team, right? You gotta stop fighting over pennies, okay? And and that's the thing. If you're not ready to grow and you're not ready to streamline some things, mm-hmm. man, CallBoss is not. It's not for you.
It's not for you. If you want to grow and do better and be great and have people represent your company in the best way possible, it's for you.
That's
Otherwise,
exactly right.
It's not. The other thing you said too is think of it in terms of software, right? When you're starting a company or you're small and you're like, ooh, free trial. Cool. Let's get in on a free trial. And then the next step up might be $80 or $100 a month, right? You're like, ooh, that's an expense. At some point, when does it make sense? Because if you look at it from where we started, $80 a month or whatever to start, what do we pay in software a month now? Like a couple $1,000s?
At least, yeah.
At least. And it's like, you know what? You can't scale and do the things that you want to do if you're always going to be cheap.
Yep. And that's a hard lesson for us. We struggle with that. We're not telling you and just to point blame. We had to go through this. We're trying to share. That's why we built CallBoss. We saw a massive need in the marketplace. We just happened to look at it a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And so when we built it 6 years ago, we man, this could really help people. And that is, it's helped. It's incredible what we've been able to do. Mm-hmm. The other thing too is we're not trying to take your office staff. We're not trying to get rid of your office staff. We're not trying to take your manager that's in there. We're trying to help them do the more important tasks, right? Because the other reality of it, if you have somebody answering the phone, they need a break. They need to go to lunch. They need to go take vacation. They're doing other things. And if you do not have a backup plan, then you're just setting yourself up for failure. And we run into a lot of managers, office managers particularly, or office people, CSRs, who get upset. They get real guarded, right? There's no need to be guarded. We're not trying to take your job. We are trying to help you to do a great job, right? Because we understand from the service side an office can get overloaded very quickly, and you get buried, and it just looks like, well, that person's not doing their job, right? Versus you call CallBoss. CallBoss is just help. They're that extra hand just to help you go, right? And for like what our pricing is, you can't beat it, right? And we set it up that way for a reason. We set it up that way because we wanted to be cost effective for the small to medium sized guy. Now, do we have great bigger companies? Yes, we do. And we're like their safety blankets, right? But there's a reason we set ourselves up to be the way we are.
Well, and when you're talking about office staff, right? Like nobody wants to lose their job. Nobody wants to be pointed out that they're actually dropping balls and not getting things done like they're supposed to be, right?
Yep.
But you don't really know that until you have additional people help you.
Yeah.
And then you can see what's truly happening with your office. Are all the calls being answered? All of the voicemails being returned? Did everybody get a response at the end of the day? Like, did we close out all the tickets to make sure everything was handled to set us up for success the next day? Sometimes when you have an office manager and CSRs, they've got a good system going on. You bring in CallBoss, it's seamless. Like nothing misses a beat. Sometimes it does miss a beat because then you realize, oh, we don't have an SOP for this process, or we haven't set this up correctly. Maybe we should look at that because there's room for improvement. And because we help so many different companies in so many different industries, when we're bringing on new companies, we're able to say, you know what? We have another company, not giving away their secrets, but their process looks like XYZ. If we were to take the Z in that process and put it into yours, it's going to be a little more streamlined.
Best practices, absolutely. Because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right? And not saying, oh, CallBoss is the best, but this is the reason CallBoss, I feel, makes us stand out from a lot of companies, from all the companies really, is we came from the service-based world. We come from it. We live it. We breathe it. We own a service-based company. We own 2 service-based companies at this point. We understand how it operates, right? That sets us apart from a lot of other people. No knock on anybody else at all. But it does separate us because we do have a different look on it. We train a totally different way. We have incredible CSRs. We have a very high standard we work within. And that is what separates us. So I think that you have to be willing to take the plunge, and you have to be willing to rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, think of it like this too, right? If you've already filled out the form because you want information, you've now selected on the Calendly that I want a meeting, and then you don't show up to the meeting because you're busy, you understand that that's exactly why you set that meeting, right?
Absolutely right.
If you come to the meeting and you can't pay attention in the meeting because there's so many things happening in your world, you understand that's exactly why you need to sign up with us. But if you're not ready to dial in and figure out how you can make the business better, then again, it's not for you.
It's not for you. You're not ready. And that's okay, man. But when you're ready, CallBoss is here. CallBoss is ready when you're ready, right? But I think that's the thing, that the message we are starting to really spread is that you have to be ready for positive change, or you just don't need to don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. Right? And when you're ready, then you're ready.
It just brings things to light, right? So as a business owner, once you dive into something like this, then you're like, oh wait, I do need to work on my process to make it better. Yeah. I do need help in this arena. Maybe it's billing. Maybe it's collections. Maybe you've got money on the table and you're running around trying to work in the field and oversee crews and make sure equipment that broke's getting fixed. And you're not even thinking about the collections. If we were calling on those collections and actually bringing money back in, you'd have money to fix it, money to pay the people, and maybe make a profit.
Shoot, not even calling people the collections. Are you following up with your leads? Are you following up with all the people who initially showed interest that maybe didn't sign up right away? Or do you have a process that follows up with those leads? Most people don't. Well, every meeting I'm in, like, oh man, I should do that. Yeah, you should. That's just lost money out the door that you didn't even think of, right? We have a service for that. We literally have a service that follows up and can go after your leads. That's what you need? Mm-hmm. You need a good close rate, right? Depending what industry you're in, there's a standard of what your close rate should be. And you know that the higher close rate is, the lower your cost per customer. Your lower your close rate is, the higher the cost of your customer, right? So you have to know those. You have to be willing to jump on board so you can know those things.
Absolutely. And we've already said it. We're here to help. And so that's the main thing is people come to CallBoss because they need help. We're here to help. We're ready to help. And then we find it's either office managers or owners. There's something giving them hesitation. Just try it. Just try it and see what happens.
No contracts. No contracts. You leave at any time. That is how confident we are in our service. Now you give us 2 to 3 months, man, you're locked in.
Average client's been with us 4 years and we've only been open 6.
Yep.
So, that speaks volumes. And most of the time when people leave, they want to come back.
Exactly right. Now, we do have a policy, right? You can leave, no contracts. You just can't come back for a year, right? And there's a reason we have that. But, yeah, it's such a low barrier of entry, and we left it low to get and be a part of our team because we were trying to help out the little guys. But the little guys and the medium-sized guys have to get out of their own way. Well,
and for the larger companies too, right? We've got a couple companies that are 7-figure and have multiple office staff, but they recognize the need for additional hands without the overhead cost. So they've got CallBoss, team of 40 plus maybe at this point, and they're able to do what they need to do without the cost of another full-time employee, their taxes, their equipment, their insurance, the building overhead, like all of the things that it costs to have an employee when you could have 40 plus.
And you train us once, our whole team's trained, right? How long does it take you to train a CSR? How long does it take you to get them up and running, right? Mm-hmm. I know how long it takes us. It takes us 4 to 5 days. We can have you up running on the phones. And that's because we've developed our training software. The way we train, it's very unique. And the way we do it, we're very, very good at it. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but we are. We spend a lot of time trying to figure this out.
Well, our training team is awesome. They really believe in CallBoss and the big picture, and they want to make sure that the clients are taken care of.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So we're getting all the information from everyone out there that's signing up with us so that we represent their business in the best light. And so today we're just trying to reflect on some of the things we've heard in sales calls. These are the hangups. These are the bottlenecks that people are worried about. Give it a shot is what I say.
Yeah.
Try it out and see what you think.
And it will pay for itself. Just that potential one call that you missed, right? It literally will pay for itself. And you just got to give it an opportunity.
Some of our companies have like stellar close rates with us because they didn't have the hands in-house to be able to follow up like we were talking about.
Yep.
And for some of our companies, the close rate that we have is better than their in-house close rate. Because we're building relationships, we're giving estimates over the phone, we're closing those sales on those calls.
Well, let's add to that. And the last thing is we train and we review all of our CSRs all the time. Mm-hmm. We grade our CSRs on a very high level. Do you guys grade your CSRs at a high level? Do you check their calls on a regular basis? Do you check their cadence? Do you check how they're answering the call? Are they answering with a smile, talking with empathy? Do you check all these things? These are the things that we check on a regular basis because if this is a service we were offering, we want to be the best at it, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's not a knock on your office, but your office, were they trained properly? Do they have the time? Are they getting burnt out? We see that all the time. Are they getting burned out because the workload that they have and they don't want to let you down, right? So we train all the time and we check our calls and we make sure that we sound as professional as possible.
And it's not just training on the CRMs. We're actually doing customer service training, how to speak on the phone, how to sound on the phone, how to control the conversation, how to regulate your tone throughout. Like there's a lot that goes into this behind the scenes that makes our reps the best reps, I think, that are out there.
Absolutely.
Because as we've talked before, customer service is a dying thing, and there's nothing worse than having an experience with a company where the person on the other line just doesn't even care to help you. That's horrible, and I would never want that to be portrayed. And at CallBoss, like you couldn't get a job here if you didn't sound upbeat and positive and ready to help. It just wouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we beat that one.
I mean, if anybody has questions about CallBoss, it's yourcallboss.com. You can check out all the information there and see if you think it'd be a good fit, but we'd love to help you out. And these are a lot of the common questions and things and concerns that we get from people that are wanting to sign up, but then they have hesitation. So yeah, I hope this helps people understand how necessary it is, and don't be scared. Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. Give it a shot or don't. right? It's up to you. It's your life. We're just trying to help.
There you go. Thanks.
Thanks.